That little kid's life was just beginning.
5-year-old Joe Clyde disappeared from his Dixon County home 4 years ago. His body still has not been found, but that doesn't mean the case is closed.
You're looking for human remains of a smaller child. You don't come across things like that every day.
We do know his father, Joseph, was convicted of felony murder in his son's death. His mother, Crystal, will stand trial for aggravated child neglect next year. It's believed, of course, that Joe Clyde is dead, but where is the body?
We're up here to find Joe Clyde Daniels.
David Marshburn, an investigator from North Carolina, is among those who have been out searching the past several years for the little boy's remains.
Come on, fine.
He says he'll be back later this year with new theories on where to look, though he suspects there won't be much left to find.
It'll be there, but it'll be scattered.
Okay, and your dogs, if there's human remains, will hit on it?
Yes, sir. Guaranteed.
Of course, to date, searchers have found no trace of the child within a 6-mile radius of the home.
The family house is here. Within 2 miles, that's where we believe Joe Clyde is.
Still, without a body, the father, Joseph, was convicted in June of felony murder. The mother, Crystal, will stand trial for child neglect next year. So what would the significance be of finding the remains now?
If they were to find a body now, then obviously, that could point to maybe the fact that someone else was responsible for this crime.
News Channel 5 legal analyst Nick Leonardo says short of producing new evidence pointing to another suspect, the remains will do nothing to alter the conviction of the father or the case against the mother.
And the question we want to ask our experts after watching that is, what happens to search efforts when the perpetrators have been prosecuted? Donald Schweitzer, let me begin with you.
Yeah, when I hear that question, I'm thinking after the successful prosecution, right? If there's a successful prosecution, then of course the resources to find remains is going to dwindle. The officer's primary goal is, number one, is to bring people to justice, and number two is to protect the public from these horrendous acts. If they've got the bad guy in custody, then they move on to the other cases. One staggering thing that I learned when I was an investigator was the number of people that are killed and we never find the suspects. I mean, there are people walking the streets today that have killed people that haven't been brought to justice yet. It's a sad thing when we can't find the remains, and typically it's one individual in a department or a family member or like this gentleman here who's got a big heart and he's looking for the remains. But don't expect the resources to be the same after a successful prosecution.